Hi, everybody. Um, I hope you're doing well. This will be part one of a part two. Um, my phone, I did deep clean it, but it time limited on me. Um, it has a mind of its own, so yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, must be a conservative phone. I don't know, or a patriot. But anyway, yeah, in the next video coming up here, I'll be talking about ideas to help keep more people in this world safe in the long run, long term, coming up in their lives, for like young people in the system or young adults going out in this world and functioning in a healthy manner instead of some of the um, practices that have been happening around the world with people that have been wards of the state. So, and then I talk a little bit about some sky phenomenon that I had seen before. And I'll just tell you about like I'll tell you real quick a few of them. I got to see the first one of the first stealth bombers, I think, when I was down in Austin, and it flew right over my grandma's house. Like my son and I were just standing there, just like looking at it go over us, all silent and creepy. So then another time I was driving in the foothills of eastern Montana, and there was this light, and at first I thought it was like a helicopter, and then it come across the whole mountain range, and it was sort of like coming up behind me, and then sort of passed me and went down the mountain, but there was no craft. There was only a light, probably ranging at least a couple miles wide in every direction. That was creepy because I was way out in the middle of nowhere. I did have company in the car with me, somebody else, but it still was creepy as all get out. Then another time, and this had to be maybe this tops my creepy list. Um, and I hope I don't get cut off. If I do, I'm sorry. I did quick clean it to do this quick one to let you know I have another one coming up. So I love you and thank you for joining me. So I'll get back on the creepiest one. I was working by this river called the Muscle Shell River in Montana, and I was out feeding cattle, and it was like, oh, maybe I think January or so. So it was kind of cold out, and had this little truck. I had to get uh, the feeding done at a certain amount of time way across the land before it got dark because it didn't have any headlights. And it didn't have any windshield wipers either. It was just an old farm truck on this ranch I was working on. So I was out there, and all of a sudden, and there's coyotes up in the hills, all the way around there. Not a big deal, but probably waiting for some cattle or something to drop over so they could eat it, whatever. So, okay, I'll tell you just a second. Driving along, all of a sudden, everything got really dark up above me, and I'm in the truck by then. Anyway, I did get all that done, which was good. But this big dark cloud. Now, I thought it was like a cloud at first because everything was so dark. And then it was just like uh, a genie's carpet that went across this whole little valley, but you could sort of like see the outline, and it had to have been at least 30 feet wide and longer than that by maybe three times. So this thing, and it just like went this was the speed, just like this across that valley like that. Now when this happened, every single coyote on all the hills around me on this valley started howling and yipping all at the same time, and just sent chills through me. And I have to admit, because then they were all whacked out too. And I rolled up my window on that little truck, and I got home as quick as I could. And I gotta admit, just the feeling of the whole thing gave the coyotes up in the hill and me this creepiest feeling that I've never felt like that from something in the air ever. And I've been in a bad tornado, but that was, well, I described it to you, but I don't know. I do not know what it was to this day. I would think I was 20 when that happened, so somewhere around in there, no kids. That was crazy. So, well, I'm going to leave you on that note. I didn't get to say in my next video, I love you. Have a very nice week. Thank you for joining me. Have a good night or day wherever you're at. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.